Hi guys, welcome back to Nairobi Legal Insights. In today's video, we're going to be covering the law of insurance, which is one of the topics under business law. By the end of this video, you will be in a position to explain what insurance means, and we're also going to be discussing about contract law in insurance, looking at the different elements of an insurance contract, and obviously we're also going to talk about the functions of insurance and look at the rights and responsibilities of both the insurer and the insured, not to forget the principles of insurance, and lastly, we're going to talk a bit about motor vehicle third-party risks as far as insurance is concerned. When we talk about insurance, this is a contract whereby a party known as the insurer undertakes in consideration of a sum of money known as a premium paid by the insured to pay a sum of money or its equivalent on the happening of a specified future event. Now, let me break this definition down for you and note out the key terms. The person who undertakes this risk is called the insurer. This is normally the insurance company, and this risk is undertaken in consideration of money that is paid by the insured. The person who pays a premium is called the insured, and in the event that an occurrence happens in the near future, and this occurrence is specified, maybe if a car gets an accident, then the insurer is going to come and pay for that loss that has been suffered by the insured. So this is the definition of insurance, and the key terms or the keywords to pick out is the insurer, we have the insured, we have a premium being paid, and this premium is paid in respect of a specified future event, meaning that if you have insured your car against an accident and then maybe it catches fire, then the insurer cannot step in to cover that because it is a specific future event that you go ahead and agree on with your insurer. When it comes to the question of who are the parties in an insurance contract, we have both the insurer and the insured. Now, the insurer is the person who takes up the risk, and this risk is taken up after the insured has paid a premium, and there is an agreement that should a future occurrence occur, then the insurer will come in and pay for the loss that has been suffered by the insured. So giving an example of a car, if the insured goes ahead to insure his car against a car accident, and that accident occurs during the course of that contract, then what will happen is that the insurer will actually indemnify the insured. Now, please don't worry about these big words. We're going to explain each one of them in the course of this video. Just to summarize contract law in insurance, like we've stated, this will be a contract between the insured and insurer. And the consideration, remember, we have a whole section on contract law in Kenya, and we keep on talking about consideration. By consideration, we mean money. So consideration under insurance is the payment of premium, and premium means the money that you actually pay for that insurance cover. And once this money is paid, then the insurer undertakes to pay the insured any financial loss that might be suffered in the near future. You also need to note that the insured should not actually profit from any future occurrence, meaning that if the accident happens, you're actually going to be paid for the exact loss that you've suffered and not to make extra money out of that particular accident. When it comes to elements of an insurance contract, these are listed on your screen. As you can see, we have offer and acceptance. We have legal consideration, which is premium paid by the insured in exchange for promise for compensation should a specified future event occur. Now, to understand these elements much better, please, you can review our business law section where we talked about elements of a valid contract in Kenya. And to go into the specifics of each element, you can also check out our playlist under contract law within the Republic of Kenya. To add more context to an insurance contract, we have something called a proposal. And in this proposal, the insurer informs the insured the nature of risk that the insurer is to undertake. So what we mean here is that if we have an insurance company A that is actually undertaking a risk, maybe person B owns a car and insurance A is undertaking the risk of a car accident. In this case, the insurer will actually inform person B that, look, we are undertaking the risk of a car accident. So the reason why I'm using this example is that should that car be maybe destroyed by a tree, if you parked under a tree and the tree falls on that car, then in that particular instance, the insurance company will not cover that, because at the onset, the insurance company will specify the nature of the risk that it is going to undertake. Anything other than that risk that was specified at the beginning will not be covered by the insurance company. Remember that all this will be contained in the insurance policy, and as far as commencement of an insurance contract is concerned, the insurance cover will only commence once the contract has been formed between the insurer and the insured and premium has been paid by the insured. This is when the commencement of the insurance cover will start. There are so many benefits that come with having an insurance cover, and the first benefit is that insurance will protect you from economic loss. Using an example of car insurance, should your car get into an accident and you insured that car against accidents, then the insurance company will step in to either compensate you or buy for you another car or even fix the damage. The next key function of insurance is that it provides certainty in business. If you're running an Uber or Matatu and this Matatu is insured against fire, and maybe one day you wake up and that Matatu has caught fire, in this particular instance, there is certainty in business because insurance will step in to cover you, to buy you a new car, or fix that particular car and take it back to its original state. So there is some sort of certainty for you, the insured, because you take that initiative to pay a premium to the insurance company. The other thing is that also insurance helps in sharing and spreading risks, meaning that you're no longer bearing the risk alone. You have someone else to share the risk with, and this is the insurance company. If you're running a business, maybe a kiosk, and you insure it against fire, should that event occur, then in this particular instance, you're able to share the risk between you and the insurance company to ensure that your business comes back to the way it was before. Every single insurance company in Kenya has rights and responsibilities, and the first right of these insurance companies is to collect their premiums. Now, we have some insured persons who pay their insurance in installments. So that way, insurance companies will have that right to actually come to you as an insured person to collect their premiums. Number two, these companies have a right to receive material information from the insured. At all times, you must actually disclose this material information so that insurance companies know whether to actually give you a cover or not. Remember, material information could be that maybe you're insuring your car for the first time and you're required to disclose if this car has ever been involved in an accident. So you must disclose the previous history of this car. And the failure to disclose this material information has repercussions. Now, when it comes to responsibilities, every single insurance company has a responsibility to specify the benefits and conditions under the cover. They must actually tell you, if you're insuring your car for the first time or for the second time, they must tell you these are the benefits that come with this package that you've paid for. And they must also give you the conditions. The other responsibility on the side of insurance companies is to compensate the insured once the loss occurs. Now, if you've insured your car against a fire and by bad luck this happens, then in that particular instance, the insurance company will have to come and actually either buy you a new car or give you money to actually go and buy a new car. It is a responsibility of the company to do so. Shifting our attention to the insured, remember that once a person pays for an insurance cover, then they have a right to claim for compensation once they suffer a loss, meaning that if you insured your car against an accident and this happens, then you can actually claim for compensation so that you get back your money or you get a new car. Number two, you have a right to material information on the policy that has been actually offered to you by the insurance company. They must tell you these critical information in that insurance policy. When it comes to duties, obviously, just like any other contract, you must comply with the terms and conditions under the insurance contract. And again, if you actually do anything contrary to these terms and conditions, there are consequences just like any other contract. You should also again pay insurance premiums. If you are this sort of a person who is paying insurance in installments, then it is your duty to ensure that you actually clear the installments, and you must offer material information on the subject matter. If the subject matter is a car, you need to actually give that information regarding your car. If your car has been in 6 previous accidents, you have to disclose that material information to the insurance company. The following are the key principles of insurance, and each one of them will be discussed in detail in more videos to come. But basically, when we talk about utmost good faith, what we mean here is that parties to an insurance contract must disclose to each other the relevant information. When it comes to indemnity, the insured must be compensated for the loss suffered. If you suffer loss, the insurance company must actually compensate. Now, when we talk about insurable interest, what we mean here is that a person with legal interest in the subject matter is the one to be insured. An example here would be that if your mom buys you a car and she's the owner of that car legally, meaning that the logbook is in her name, then she's the rightful person to be insured. You can't be the insured. She is the rightful person to be the insured as far as this principle is concerned. Now, with the fourth principle of proximate cause, for you to be compensated for the loss you've suffered, the cause of the loss must be connected to the insured risk. Yeah? Take this point seriously, because if you've insured your car against a fire and that car is hit by a tree and destroyed, then you realize that the insurance cannot actually pay for that loss because the original insured risk was a fire and not damage from a tree. The last principle is the principle of contribution. Sorry, the second last is the principle of contribution. And in this particular instance, what we mean here is that we can have an insured who has 2 different insurers, and when the insured suffers a loss, then these insurers are going to share the loss between them. But also currently, most insurance companies will just cover for the loss you've suffered according to their claim, then the other insurer can take over from there. And this sharing of loss between insurance companies is also done in such a way that you do not profit from these insurers. Now, the last principle of insurance is the principle of subrogation, and what we mean here is that we can have a scenario whereby there is compensation of the insurer, meaning the insurance company is compensated by a third party who is liable to the insured. You as the insured, you suffer a loss as a result of a third party, and that third party is going to come and compensate your insurance company. Now, each of these principles is going to become clearer to you in more videos to come on insurance law in Kenya, but for now I was just giving an overview of the principles of insurance. As we come to the end of this video, I want us to first understand what third-party insurance means. Basically, you need to understand here that this is a requirement by law, and it is aimed at compensating third parties whenever a car is involved in an accident. So every single car must at least have a third party as a bare minimum insurance. So you might wonder, who is a third party? When we talk about a third party, what we mean is that this is a person other than the owner of the car who is involved in a car accident. It could be a pedestrian. So cars must have at least a third party insurance to cater for these people on the road. And in the course of more videos to come, we're going to be discussing the principles of insurance in detail, and we're going to be looking at more angles of the law of insurance as far as Kenyan laws are concerned. If you're watching Nairobi Legal Insights for the first time, consider subscribing so that you receive notifications every single time we're going to be posting a new video on the law of insurance.